Yo, YouTube, this video is titled "The FaZe Clan Cover Up is Disgusting." It's by Fuck DH. He's got amazing videos and he's gonna break down this situation. We already learned about the beginning part, about the whole pedophile situation, but really what I care about is the ending for the update.
Please stop asking if certain people knew or not. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That does matter, because that means they were complacent.
It doesn't matter, okay? Like, it's hard for everybody. But a lot of people did know, yes. A lot of people did know. Release the temper list is so fucking crazy, bro.
That was the biggest Freudian slip I've ever seen. I think this is a byproduct of years of a lack of accountability and just tons of complicitness from grown men. I'm truly disgusted with how these grown men have acted and remained silent despite their friend admitting to engaging in inappropriate conduct with a child. But I'm going to cover basically everything, and I'm going to explain why I
see. My whole thing is this though, right? How are you gonna try to expose him and then fuck it? How are you gonna try to expose him and then you make a video retracting everything that you said, you apologize, and then after the situation doesn't go the way that you want it to, you double back down? That's really the part that's crazy. Because you're just putting your reputation and your credibility on the line for somebody that you claimed was your friend, but y'all are not even really friends.
Personally believe FaZe Temper might be more guilty than we know. This all started when FaZe Rain ended up teasing the fact that FaZe had a PDF file on their roster.
I want to put everything to do with me and FaZe to rest, bro, because there is so much I haven't said. And honestly, at this point, bro, I don't give a I think I'm going to collect my thoughts tomorrow and I'm going to say everything, bro. Every single thing that I know. Everything.
He didn't even say everything, though.
Everything. And I'm going to collect my thoughts because I have an eidetic memory, so I remember everything and anything. I left. There's a fucking involved too, bro. I don't give a if I get sued. I could give a less. I always stand up for what's right. That was the final straw,
wow,
bro.
So hold on. So that was the final straw, and you're standing up for what's right. But at the same time, you redacted everything that you said. Come on.
I was so I've been up over that for like 2 years, bro.
When this got clipped, it immediately went viral. Number one, people pointed to FaZe Banks because he's hella weird, and that's an objective fact. Is he a PDF though? I'm not sure, nor am I stating this as a fact.
Nah.
But FaZe Banks is an LA weirdo, and there's been some whispers about the women he be around. Nothing substantial, but there is this screenshot from Sky Bree's store.
Petition to cancel men in their 30s fucking barely legal teens and underage every night and bragging about their sex addiction. LOL. Your new FaZe CEO. Wait, who's the CEO?
And if you don't know who she is, she's one of those LA girls who be up under all the influencers. But I don't want to cook shorty because she posted this. Like I said, it's nothing substantial, but Banks is a shady character and everybody knows this. So when he posted his response to Rain's initial bombshell, I knew he was going to be full of shit. Also, just so everyone knows, Tommy is FaZe Temper and Norden is FaZe Rain. I'm gonna get some water real quick.
Got a phone call about a year ago from FaZe Rain, or a text rather. He's kind of going off just about all the reasons why he's upset with FaZe, hates FaZe. Rain's going off about how FaZe has slighted him, and he brings up that somebody's
My thing is this, right? If it's not you, why are you coming out and just airing out everything now that he said it? You know what I mean? It's like Banks, it's like he doesn't want to be hated, but he does a good job at being hated, because you could tell he's coming out here. I get it. You want to protect your identity and all that shit. You should have just said it wasn't me.
And nobody wants to talk about it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Call him. He's like, Banks.
Actually, and then I like that he said exactly what he knew though. At the same time, I take back what I said. I respect that he came out and just gave his perspective.
We talked about this before. I'm like, Norden, pause. You're saying that FaZe Temper is which that is who he's talking about in the clip. And there's a story, and we're gonna get into it. I'm like, whoa, that's Tommy. That's our brother. This is who we started this FaZe shit with. I'm calling him. That was the first thing I said. I'm calling. So I patched Tommy and Apex in the call immediately, and we sit on this phone call and we talk for a long time. We were on the phone probably for at least an hour, maybe even fucking 2 hours on the phone talking about this. And Tommy's first initial knee-jerk reaction to all this shit, what the f are you talking about?
Right.
Norden, no, this is not what the conversation was like.
I'm gonna be so honest, I don't believe a word out of this clown's mouth. He's been involved in so much shady work, and even recently, he decided to leave the internet because of that. He dead ass quit after getting exposed for being a scammer. That's the equivalent of paying for the method. He was turning his own fans into the money method, and that's just so evil. So honestly, I went into the video taking his words with a grain of salt. Keep in mind that Banks is saying that Temper denied this stuff. He was surprised by Rain's revelation. But when Rain reacted to this clip of FaZe Banks, he revealed even more information on what exactly happened. And it all started from a private conversation between Temper and Rain.
This dude looks me in my eyes and says, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I had a threesome with 2 16-year-olds. I'm like, bro, what? Like, how could you tell me that after I'm telling you the 3 rules I have to why I'll never have your back as a friend on my mother's heartbeat?
Mind you, keep that part in mind. Keep that part in mind.
What he said, he looked me in the eyes and he said that. I told Banks and I told Apex immediately. I even told Lee Trink. I have texts with fucking Lee Trink from then. It was right before everything fucking blew up with the SPAC and FaZe went public and whatnot. And he dropped me off home and we haven't talked since.
I'm not gonna lie, this is genuinely some of the sickest stuff I've heard recently, and it feels like I keep saying that,
Bro.
but it's always something new. Mind you, a big part of Temper's response is that he didn't know that the girl was underage. But if that was the case, why would you word it like that? But
Why would you not start off with that? That's the, bro, if your mans is telling you, I got 3 conditions of why I can't be your friend, and being a PDF and a grapist is 1 and 2, wouldn't you tell him I didn't know? You know what I'm saying? If some shit were to ever come out, you would just, that's some shit that you start with. If you didn't know, you'd be like, yeah, this happened, but I didn't know. I found out after the fact. He never said that, and then Rain was like, oh yeah, he said he didn't know, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, he's saying it now because his whole life is fucking under fire, and he got kicked off FaZe. He's gonna say whatever to keep it. Bro, he was making 20 bands a month from FaZe with benefits. Duh, anybody would be trying to keep that shit.
getting ahead of myself. Rain also did corroborate the fact that he immediately let FaZe Banks know. And he also points out that Banks was not being entirely truthful in his response.
Why do you want to bring this up, Banks? I did it. I didn't even want to bring your name up in this, bro, but you made that video. I don't know if we're about to watch it a little bit, but it's just, you lied in that video. You're making up, bro. Even that tweet that you posted under, I screenshotted in case you delete it because I just don't trust you, bro. And I don't trust what you said there. You said some bullshit at the end of that tweet. What'd you say? You said, here, I'll pull it up here. Like you said, call concluded and Tommy didn't admit to it. Yes, he did. And you called me and you said, bro, this is so bad. This is so bad. He said he's gonna if this shit ever comes out. And that's why I feel extra bad, bro.
Bro, that's, well, you shouldn't feel bad over that though. That's manipulation, bro. Anybody who says stuff like that is called damage control. You're saying what's on. You're saying that so that you can guilt the person into not speaking up, bro.
I feel extra.
What's good, Boss Mick? Why are you reacting to yourself? Stop it.
If it came out and you guilted me into not doing it.
I don't know why I didn't mention it when I was first writing this video, but honestly, that's extremely disgusting if that's
Don't
true.
compare me to this guy. He's fucking chopped.
If FaZe Banks was holding this guy's potential self-deletion over Rain's head, it does make me feel a little more empathetic towards him, even though he is a grown man. Even though I think these guys are crazy, it does add another.
Even though he's a grown man, he's still a human being, bro. If somebody's holding that over your head, how you gonna feel? You're gonna be like, damn, like, you're gonna feel responsible if anything were to happen to them.
Element, because that is a lot to hold over somebody. It's like I've been saying throughout the video, FaZe Banks is a shady character, so it's not like that's out of character. He's just a weirdo, like flat out. Stay away from him. Now I want you guys to remember this part because Rain said two things that stuck out to me. The first was that the call concluded and Banks knew that Tommy admitted to what he did, allegedly, and the fact that Tommy would delete himself if the truth got out. But Rain and Banks did end up getting into a call to discuss everything, and that's where the story actually changes.
Today, I talked to him. It's been a while since I talked to him. Me and Tommy haven't been on the best.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. A lot of these influencers are gonna do anything to preserve their public image because ultimately that's what the fuck they care about. They don't give a fuck about friendship, bro. The moment that you're like the truth is about all these influencer friendships is that the only reason why they're friends is because it's benefiting people to be together. The moment that the moment that it's not beneficial Bro, you'll be surprised. You see the real side of somebody. I've witnessed that shit. I've talked to people and like I've poured my heart out to them. Like told them everything. Like especially when I was like going through like the shit with the content and saying like, yo, like I really feel bad about this shit. Like I don't want to be it kills me to be fake. It kills me to be fake. I'm like, bro, like I can't clip farm. I don't want to do this IRL shit. It's just not for me. Like I feel bad when I do this. Like it's not, there's no benefit in me doing this. They'll sit there and be like, oh, I completely understand, bro. Like if you need anybody to talk to, just hit my line whenever. And guess what happens? Unfollow. Blocked. Shit talk. Trying to tell you, bro. They try to act like they're good people for the sake of their PR.
Terms because of a lot of
These
FaZe
people only give a fuck about their reputation in the money that they make.
stuff and involvement and shit like that. Another huge part of the reason why I finally just like said, you know what, I'm gonna go my own way. I like his story does not line up with what you're saying.
The only difference in this story, by the way, is what.
See, this is what happens when there's like no receipts. It's just he said, not he said, she said, I guess, but he said and he said. Let's go, Bosmic.
Brother, he told me 2 16-year-olds threesome. And
I know who you talking about. Come on, man.
on the call, he said, if I said it to sound cool. Do you remember him saying that? There's no way. There's no way.
Wow, look at that. You can tell when somebody's lying. Look in their eyes. That is the fakest reaction ever, bro. Look.
I said it to sound cool. Do you remember him saying that? There's no way. There's no way. That's such a crazy thing to say.
Brain, I'm fried, brother. I honestly, like,
What?
Okay, so
it sounds like something. It sounds like
it's not. Like I
it's
remember
so dumb that it sounds like something I could hear Tommy in an unironic way, like saying, like,
God
What?
knows why.
What the fuck does that mean in an unironic way? You mean him saying it? I can see him saying it.
He lied to me and said it was a threesome with a 16-year-old when it was a single with a 17 and one was watching. God knows why he lied and said it was a threesome. God knows why. Especially when I'm telling him how demonic and evil that is and how I'll never have your back. That's what he said. It's what he
Brother, I'm fried, brother.
said. Okay? So then he goes in the call that we had after.
See, this is what happens when you live this LA lifestyle, bro. Because they're all like, weren't they all off drugs and like partying like OD and shit? It's that LA shit, man. People be fiending to go and live in LA, but they don't understand it's a dark side to LA. There's a reason why if you just drink and smoke, they call it California sober. Come on, man. The industry is really dark, bro. You get caught up in that lifestyle. It's a lot of shit. Everybody got baggage. They probably all got some shit. They probably all got secrets. And they confided in each other. Not even because they want to be friends, but just to be close to each other. To have dirt on each other.
After with me, you, Apex, Tommy, and he said it was a 17-year-old. He admitted it, bro. He did. And then he said, if this shit ever comes out, bro, I have a kid now, I have a wife. And you called me after, you're like, bro, he's never talked like that. Please don't do it, bro. I don't want him to fucking.
I do remember that, by the way.
So let me get this straight. Banks believes that it sounds within character for this grown man who is at least 29 at the time of the incident to say he had a threesome with 2 underage girls to sound cool, and agrees that he threatened
That's so lame.
delete himself if the truth comes out. At this point, I'm just feeling like these are all grown men, and if my homie told me the things that Tommy was allegedly saying, something is gonna happen. So I'm just trying to figure out why these grown men were so
I would just cut them off. I can't even lie. I wouldn't be able to associate myself with that shit.
and how they responded to
Bosmic, you don't live in LA. You live in the real LA.
everything that was being revealed. But I don't want to harp on Banks's and Rain's conversation for too long. There are 2 more clips I would like to show you guys.
FaZe Temper tweeting and going live starting now. Wait, he's talking right now?
And the first one is that Rain was explaining how Bank attempted to cover his tracks, which is kind of crazy.
And bro, when I told Banks about it, he said, nah, bro, that's just some
I mean, this is a Kick Champ clip. Take it with a grain of salt, but
Tommy shit. I don't think it's a big deal because it was over the phone where it's like gone, right? I'm not recording phone calls. I don't record phone calls. Actually, I did with Lee Trink one time because he's a fucking rap. But one time I recorded a phone call. He said that. He said that's just some Tommy shit and didn't think it was a big deal, right? And he knew going forward. Yeah, let me pull up the tweet. And then when I texted him about it later down the line, he pretended like we've never talked about it before. I was like, bro, what are you doing? And in my head, I'm like, bro, he's just doing this so that if I hypothetically ever screenshotted it, it wouldn't you know, it looks like he cares and he's defending it and shit like that.
So Rain is saying that him and Banks spoke on the phone the first time that he contacted him about the situation, and that years down the line, Banks starts acting oblivious, feigning ignorance because there's no proof of him.
I don't know about Banks. Why do people hate him so much? Because he's got a shady past. And then ever since he had that whole situation with Aiden Ross, his PR got cooked. If you have any problems with Aiden, bro, Twitter is gonna hate you. Dead ass. Aiden Ross got a vice grip. He got a vice grip on Twitter. All the Twitter pages side with him. Shit is crazy. Like Kick Champ, Clip Season. Most of these Twitter pages, bro, they're AR loyals. You know what I mean? Why you think the fucking Kai hate narrative went mainstream? Because all these pages were talking about Kai. So the moment that Banks fell out with Aiden, his shit was already cooked. But even then, before that, his shit was already cooked with Bruce. When Bruce called out FaZe Banks, that was like the start of it all. You know,
acknowledging the incident in the first place. Goddamn. Assuming that's true, which I'm leaning towards Rain over Banks, that is really fucking crazy. But Rain also ended up going a little more in depth about the specifics of what Tommy said.
I brought it up to him, bro. I did. And when we got in the call, Tommy said this verbatim. He said it wasn't a threesome with two 16-year-olds. Actually, it was a 17-year-old. So all of a sudden now it's 17. Okay. One was 17 and the other one watched. That's what he said. And then he started bringing up all these random laws. I don't even know, these weird consent laws, like Romeo and Juliet this, yada, I don't
Romeo
know.
and Juliet is like if you're, huh? Romeo and Juliet is when you're 18 and you're dating somebody who's 17. What? Come on, gang. He was like 27, 28. That ain't no Romeo and Juliet. Huh? What the fuck? I could understand the story getting muddy because he was drunk and you went to a party and if you're blackout, you go home, whatever, right? I could understand the details getting mixed up. But saying Romeo and Juliet? Come on, bro. Romeo and Juliet law, New York. I'm curious to see what this says. New York does not have a Romeo and Juliet law, which means there are no close-in age exemptions for consensual sex. The age of consent in New York is 17, and engaging in sexual acts with someone under this age can lead to statutory rape charges, regardless of the circumstances. I mean, bro, doesn't that sound like he's trying to protect his image, even if it's like, let's say she's 16. If you say, oh, I don't know if she was 16 or she was 17, it's better to say that it's 17 because the moment that you say it's 16, you're implicating yourself in a crime.
No, I don't know what these laws are, bro. And he says some like that. And even Banks calls me after and he's like, bro, what the f***'s like up with that law that he brought up? So he knows he did some shit that was wrong. He knows that.
He's weird. He's weird.
Who's that?
And I think with this clip, the story got a little more clear for me. Right now,
I mean, I don't think he's gonna go to jail. It's just he doesn't want to cook. There's not gonna be anything that happens legally from this. He wants to save his public perception because if you have PDF allegations hanging over your head, nobody's gonna want to associate with you. Your time at FaZe is done. Your future is cooked. And anytime your name gets brought up, people are gonna be bringing that shit up. Your life is over.
I personally believe Banks knew the situation with Tommy and that he slept with his underage girl. However, he's been omitting certain details as to not incriminate himself as much. He didn't completely lie. Some things are correct, like the fact that him and Rain were on the call and the girl was 17. But Temper responded, so let's take a look.
The fact that I'm even having to respond to this and that my name is in the same breath as the word is so sick, twisted, and insane.
Bro said Gerber.
It's disgusting. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not that type of person. I am the furthest thing from what you call.
You know what's crazy? You know somebody's lying when they drop multiple responses because the guilt is adding up. Oh my god, bro, am I gonna get canceled? No, I have to come out and blah 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 blah. That's crazy, bro.
And I will never be that person. It's so mind-blowing that someone that I really built a brotherhood with, someone that I really considered a brother,
that's
that I
crazy.
invited to my baby shower, that I always looked after and took care. And then when you were going through your darkest days, I was there for you, and I was making sure that you were good. When you were in a wheelchair for 2 years, and like I was so gutted at the fact that like you couldn't walk again.
Bro, you see how people just start throwing shit in your face? That's how you knew they never gave a fuck about you anyways. Oh my god, when you were blah 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 blah, I cared about you when you were boo 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 boo.
I'm gonna be honest, this nigga is rambling. And first of all, this isn't even a real response. It's just him talking around everything. He never
yes, literally
even addressed the actual allegations. He said it once at the start, and then he starts talking about other things that are unrelated, like the fact that he helped Rain apparently at his lowest, which by the way, Rain did deny this, saying no, this nigga was not here. But later that day, Temper did have another response. But in this video, he confirmed he did.
Bro, you know what the funny part is? It was a 3-minute fucking yappuccino, and there's literally only 10 seconds of it that people actually give a fuck about.
The inappropriate conduct with the underage girl.
And then one day I go to New York, and I go to this club that's 21 plus, and I link up with a buddy there, and he invites a couple girls, and I end up going back with these girls. We're all shit-faced, and I end up going
Why do you kind of look like, bro? Who?
back with these girls to my hotel room. I slept with one of them,
Cooked.
and I found out after that this girl was
Temper. Now I look like Rain. I look like Temper. Bro, I don't look like this fucking PDF, bro. Stop it.
17.
And before I continue,
I just look like everybody. I got a base fucking character model.
I want to be clear. I was initially going to show you guys more clips because there are so many weird things that I noticed. Like, for example, if this was truly a mistake, why was this not clarified 2 years ago when the
Bro, that's what I'm saying. If it was a mistake, the first thing that you say is it was a mistake. When you bring up the situation, Bosmic, I'm gonna help you out. You don't, that is an important detail that oh, I forgot to mention I didn't know. No, you literally, that's one of the first things that you bring up, bro. That ass.
incident was first talked about. Why would you threaten to delete yourself if you didn't know truthfully?
Right, and then he never mentioned that. You notice he never responded to that part at all.
Nigga wouldn't feel guilt making that type of mistake, but threatening to literally delete yourself seems more indicative of guilt to me. I was gonna go over more, but then Rain walked back his statement saying that Temper was not a PDF file, and Temper retweeted that video and said thanks, but
thanks for ruining my life.
you ruined my life. But 30 minutes ago at the time of writing this, that nigga Rain deadass said the only reason he posted that video is cause Temper's wife hit him up, guilt tripping him hard. So he doubled down and said, nah, that nigga is guilty. So
yeah, but he kind of hurt his credibility by doing that because he was so adamant and he was standing on business. And then you make this video trying to dispel the situation, and then you look bad and you don't look trustworthy. I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like if you're gonna come out and say some shit, you gotta stand on it, bro. I don't give a fuck whose wife is crying. That's not your problem that he chose to do that.
Leave us exactly. In my opinion, I believe the story about the club and how he didn't know was fabricated in order to soften the blow.
You don't even know. We don't even know that. Like, there's like, come on, bro.
I also believe Banks had the same intention of softening the blow by omitting certain details. I want to point out, I think that when it was confirmed that Tommy slept with the underage girl, that info alone was enough for them to realize they could not deny it. Not fully. So what do? You fabricate a story where Temper is really the victim and it was just a mistake. But that's my opinion anyways. As for Rain, it's cool he doubled down, but nigga, you're a grown ass man. You caped for Jeffrey Epstein for 2 years. You was literally friends with Epstein and you did not say anything. For legal reasons, I'm completely joking. Then there's the clip of Rain trying to down.
Yeah, but it's a little more complicated than that. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little more. The influencer world runs a little bit deep. It's a little more complicated than you just airing out the situation. Now, mind you, I think when the situation happened, they should have just brought it up while it was fresh, because it is crazy that you held that back. But that is a lot of that is an emotional baggage for somebody to hold that over your head. You know what I'm saying? And he just, like, his response was removing himself from that situation in general.
Who had knowledge. Mind you, I personally went to his Twitch and was looking for more context on everything he was saying, and I found this clip myself. None of the clip pages have posted this clip. I'm honestly very surprised.
But no, please stop asking if certain people knew or not. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? Like it's hard for everybody, but a lot of people did know. Yes, a lot of people did know.
And another thing that was getting me is that it seemed like his hostility was singled out to Banks for knowing, which was weird because I mean he admitted that people knew about it, but he wasn't willing to reveal it.
I thought it was just the founding members, because even Banks said I thought it was him. I thought it was Rain, Tommy, Apex, and Rain, Banks, Tommy, Apex.
And as far as to say it doesn't matter who knows, but I'm just tired of talking about this. It's so
I mean, he didn't threaten him. He threatened to end it.
Knowing all these grown men really be Epstein associates, allegedly, and don't care, and half the time it be right in front of our faces, but the parasocial's gonna excuse it because at least we get content. That being said, y'all be safe. Please don't prey on kids.
Nah, that shit is crazy. Please, yeah, please don't fucking be a EDP. Dude, that shit is, yeah, it's just what happens when people try to do anything to get on, man. They want to live that fast life. Not it.